Hey folks, Dana Hammonds with the Brand Blueprint. Today I want to talk about something that a lot of founders are still treating like background: tariffs. Yeah, a lot of people hear that word and immediately file it under politics, policy, macroeconomics, Washington drama, trade headlines, all the stuff that feels important, but so far away. But for founders, especially product founders, that distance is fake. Why is it fake? Because once tariffs start pushing on your input, your packaging, your components, your freight, your landed cost, and your replenishment rhythm, this is no longer a policy story. It is a brand strategy story. And I need more founders to understand that and to care about it. Why? Because what is happening right now is not just that costs may go up, it is that the job description of a founder is getting much broader. You are not just building a product. You are not just building a brand voice. You are not just running marketing. You are also now managing volatility. And that is the real work right now. And the founders who accept that reality early on are going to make better decisions than the founders who keep telling themselves, I'll deal with it if it hits me. No, that is not the acceptable response. You deal with it before it hits you. You look at your business and you ask yourself, what SKU is most exposed? What ingredient or material is hardest to replace? Which supplier relationship is too concentrated? Which product margin is already thin enough that one more cost increase changes the whole equation? Now, that's not overreacting, guys. That is basic founder maturity. And I want to make another point here because this is where a lot of people get sloppy. When input pressure rises, the answer is not automatically raise prices. Sometimes, yeah, but sometimes no. And sometimes the smarter move is to adjust the pack architecture. Sometimes it is a bundle. Sometimes it's a smaller format. Sometimes it is a premium version that protects margin. And sometimes it is a sourcing change. Sometimes it is cutting the least productive SKU in the lineup. Now, that is why this is a strategy conversation, not just a finance conversation. Because the question is not, can I survive a cost increase? The better question is, how do I protect trust, protect margin, and protect momentum at the same time? That is a much more useful founder question. Now, let's talk about the customer side because this matters too. Consumers are already telling us they are paying attention to cost, value, and where they feel comfortable spending. That means if your costs move and if your customer is already cautious, you cannot afford lazy pricing. You need a reason. You need a story. You need a value equation that still makes sense. Now, if your product gets more expensive, what still makes it worth it? Is it durability, convenience, ingredient integrity, performance, fewer replacements? Is it a better design? Maybe a more trusted experience? Because if you don't know how to answer that, then the tariff issue is going to expose a positioning problem that was already there. And that is what I want founders to hear. Pressure reveals. It reveals whether you understand your numbers. It reveals whether your assortment is disciplined. It reveals whether your supply chain is resilient or not. And it reveals whether your customer really understands why you matter. So the founders I think are going to win this next stretch are not the ones pretending none of this matters. They are the ones using this moment to tighten the machine up. They are looking at margin by SKU, lead times by supplier, inventory by velocity, price elasticity by customer segment, and channel strategy by actual profitability. That is founder work. Because when the environment gets less forgiving, the sloppy parts of the business, they stop hiding and they come all the way out. And let me be clear, this is not a fear message. I'm not trying to scare you. This is a discipline message. Founders do not need to panic. Don't get scared. Don't go crazy. You just need to diagnose. You need to stop treating operations like a back office function and start treating them like part of the brand experience. Because when your product is in stock, when your price still makes sense, when your quality stays intact, and when your customer is not surprised in a bad way, that does not just feel like operations, guys. That feels like real trust. And trust compounds, it multiplies in a positive way. So if you are a founder watching this, I want you to sit with three questions this week. Number one, where's my business most exposed? Number two, what would I adjust before I'm forced to adjust it? And number three, can I clearly explain why my product is still worth choosing if the environment gets harder? Because that is where smart strategy starts. If you want help pressure testing your pricing, your product mix, your supply chain logic, or your margin story, that's exactly the kind of work we do here inside the Brand Blueprint. Email me at dana@valuegrowthpartners.com. That's value without an E. Or you can find me at www.thebrandblueprint.biz. Let's build brands that can actually absorb pressure, not just look good when the market is easy.